What would you do if your neighbor tried to erase your joy? I'm Emma, a single mom who moved to Willow Creek for a fresh start. My son, Liam, and I found solace in our quirky lawn gnome, Norman, a gift from my late father. It wasn't just ceramic, it was a symbol of love, a daily reminder of Dad's laughter. We'd paint its seasonally red hat for Christmas, bunny ears for Easter. It made our little yard feel like home. But Karen, the HOA president, didn't approve. She was the kind of person who'd measure your grass with a ruler. One crisp morning, a letter arrived. Remove the gnome per HOA regulations. It violates aesthetic standards. Aesthetic standards? Our street was a cookie-cutter grid of beige houses. Norman was the only splash of personality. Liam was crushed, his small face crumpling as he hugged the gnome. I tried reasoning with Karen at the next HOA meeting, but her icy glare and clipped, "Rules are rules," shut me down. Neighbors nodded like sheep, afraid of her clipboard tyranny. Fury simmered. Karen's standards were a power trip, and I wasn't letting her steal our joy. I complied, removing Norman under her watchful eye, but a plan sparked. If she wanted to play dictator, I'd fight back with flair. I scoured local laws. HOA rules couldn't override municipal codes. A loophole emerged. No height restrictions on art installations. Enter my revenge. I contacted a local sculptor, Maria, who just moved to town and was itching for a project. She was a fiery artist with a grudge against HOAs after one fined her for painting her mailbox purple. Over coffee, we hatched a plan. A 12-foot-tall gnome statue, technically an art piece, cemented into my yard. Maria worked magic, crafting a giant Norman with a cheeky grin, holding a tiny sign, "Live free." It took weeks, but we kept it secret, assembling it under tarps at night. The unveiling was glorious. At dawn, I flipped on spotlights as the neighborhood woke. Gasps echoed. The statue loomed, dwarfing Karen's manicured lawn. She stormed over, face redder than Norman's hat. "This is outrageous. Remove it," she shrieked. I handed her a copy of the municipal code, smiling. "It's art, Karen. Perfectly legal." Neighbors gathered, some giggling, others snapping photos. Maria, watching from her porch, gave me a thumbs up. Karen didn't quit. She rallied the HOA, claiming the statue lowered property values. Meetings turned into shouting matches. Then came the twist. Mr. Jenkins, the quiet retiree next door, spoke up. He'd lived here 30 years, longer than Karen's reign. "I like the gnome," he said, voice steady. "Reminds me of my wife's garden." "You've gone too far, Karen." He revealed he'd recorded her bullying tactics, threats to fine people for minor infractions like unapproved flower pots. The room turned. Neighbors, emboldened, shared their own Karen horror stories. The showdown came at the next meeting. Armed with Jenkins recordings and a petition signed by half the neighborhood, we demanded a vote. Karen's face drained as ballots piled against her. She was ousted as HOA president, replaced by Maria, who promised fairness. The statue stayed, now a local legend. Kids called it Big Norm, and tourists snapped selfies. Karen moved away months later. Her house sold at a loss, rumor had it. Buyers hated her vibe. Liam and I repainted the original Norman, placing it at Big Norm's feet. Our yard became a haven for neighbors to share stories, laugh, and heal. I learned defiance can spark change, and joy is worth fighting for. But was I too harsh? Should I have just ignored Karen's letter? Share your thoughts. What's the line between standing up and going too far?